like Wilds.
Yes, and that's the problem with the show. Head to Baltimore. We haven't seen Lamar on the field since week 13, or on the practice field either, and I've been watching. Ravens have stumbled their way into a matchup against the Bengals Sunday night. Ian Rappaport reporting Lamar has told people he'll be back. Here's how the Ravens have fared in Lamar's absence.
How many teams are there in the NFL, Wilds?
Lots.
No, 32. Is the point. I was just trying to emphasize.
Yeah, I know. What he got tied last.
You know what?
Why don't you wait for medals?
Sorry, I was trying to help.
You're out till 4:25.
Look, I don't see Lamar playing. He hasn't practiced in 5 weeks. We'll see if he practices today, or I don't know if they've already practiced, or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yep. But he hasn't practiced in 5 weeks. Now, obviously, I have no idea about his medical condition. But I do feel there's some truth to the chatter that he doesn't want to go out there until he's like as close to 100% as possible, can be at his absolute best, because he has no guaranteed money. So if you get injured, and Nick, if you don't play well, he's been good the last 2 seasons. Don't get me wrong, very good, but not quite what he was. He's been down each year, right, from what he was when he was an MVP. And he's already also 1-3 in the playoffs, and hasn't played well. His completion percentage, his yards per game, I think he's got 3 touchdowns, 5 picks. So does he want to go out there and play in the playoffs, rusty as all get out, and not play well, and then be 1-4 when you sit down for negotiations with the Baltimore Ravens, and they're saying, we haven't gotten it done in the postseason?
What's the only way that Lamar can better his situation with the Ravens or across the league?
Is having a great playoff game.
Having a great playoff game.
Exactly right.
That's it. That's the only way, having a great playoff game and actually winning. Even with saying that, winning the Super Bowl, even with saying that, if I'm Lamar, I do not play.
You don't.
Even if
I do not play.
If he's able,
I do not play. The only way that he can increase what they view of him and how and say, here, you know what, let's sign on the dotted line, let's give him what he wants. It's if he actually delivers in the postseason, and delivering for Baltimore is a Super Bowl. It's not just a playoff win.
Just winning this one game won't be enough.
It's not just a playoff win. And so for me, you can hurt yourself more than you can help yourself.
Right.
Lamar,
I agree.
I don't put myself in that situation coming off of injury. You ran the risk to play this season.
Right.
He started off great. Now he did get hurt. You sit out, man. This team is struggling. They're showing you how much they need you.
So listen, I won't judge him if he doesn't play, but I think he is playing. And I think that you guys are looking at this as a little too black and white, as the only way he can help his value is winning the Super Bowl. Brew laid out the facts. He's 1-3 in the playoffs and has yet to have a great playoff game. Wilds laid out the facts that this team without him is drawing dead. Worst offense in football is the point I was trying to make. If Lamar comes back and they beat Cincinnati, the hottest team in the AFC, on the road, maybe that doesn't get the Ravens to give him a fully guaranteed deal. The Jets might. Indy might. Raiders might. Seattle might.
See, a lot of those teams might do it already.
Exactly.
Even if he doesn't
I think
play.
they do it already without him even playing.
So fair enough. I think some of them might, but I think you guys are looking at it only from a how he can hurt himself perspective. And there absolutely is the flip side, how he can help himself perspective. And I don't know Lamar Jackson. I don't claim to, Wilds. However, if we are to judge a man's thoughts by his actions, he seems like a bet on myself type of guy.
Sure.
He turned down more than $100 million guaranteed. He represented himself. He has not changed, who he is. It seems like one iota. He is unashamedly himself, which I have tremendous respect for, and I think we all do, in ways that I think we usually see the corporate quarterback, you'll make more money if you do. No, he seems like the type of guy that is a bet on myself type of guy. And so I understand him certainly not wanting to get out there less than 100% for regular season games when the playoffs are already locked up. But for a playoff game, particularly against a team that has struggled against your defense, this is a winnable playoff game. I think we're going to see Lamar, and I think he has already won the argument with the Ravens, Wilds. I think Lamar has proven, guys, you think this offense you've built can survive without me, okay, go try. And they've tried, and they haven't just taken a step back. They've been the worst in football.
But if you think he's proven his point, can't he just hammer it home by like, you know what?
That's where I'm at.
But
Your season's over now.
But doesn't that, but hold on, but does that to me, and Greg, you can speak to this better than me. Maybe, Hubs, give us just an extra 40 seconds here. There's the loyalty to the contract dispute with the organization. Then there is the loyalty within the locker room to his teammates. And I'm not saying those guys are going to judge him, but I would think he sees how drawing dead they are without him. I would think if he can, he wants to go out and try to help those guys.
And that, in my opinion, has been the number one thing that has hurt Lamar. His loyalty. His loyalty to them versus their loyalty to him.
Sure.
Even the guys in the locker room, they love Lamar Jackson. There is nothing that he can do.
Understand
100%,
right.
because they believe that he's the guy that can get it done for them.
And the other,
so they would be screaming, just pay him.
And I don't know how it affects this, but the other Ravens news today is they just made their off-ball linebacker, Roquan Smith, who's been on the team for 6 weeks, the highest paid in the history of the league, which opens up the franchise tag to be used on Lamar Jackson.
That would get you mad if you're Lamar?
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't.
Players wouldn't be mad.
It wouldn't get me upset, but I'm saying you're paying a guy who just got here.
Right, right.
And I've been loyal. I've done it the right way on the field, off the field. I've been everything that you look for a quarterback to be.
Yep.
As far as a representation of a franchise guy, I've been that. And you choose to not come to terms or agree to what I'm asking. And Deshaun, and I'm not throwing shade, but Deshaun gets paid.
Yeah, who was out
Kyler Murray gets paid.
Yeah.
And I got to beg?
Right.
Come on, man.
Lamar doesn't even play Call of Duty.
Coming up next, Tuesday show, Super Bowl champion Greg Jennings joins us. Seattle and San Francisco, Saturday, 4:30 on Fox. Pete Carroll has been impressed. Take a listen.
Shoot, they've won 10 in a row, man. They're freaking on fire. Purdy's done a great job coming in there. I go back to Kyle's done an incredible job with his QBs this season. That 10-game run is big time now. That's big time in this league, and you got to give them all the credit. They're as healthy maybe as they've been all year long. You know, it's a freaking juggernaut.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you could scoff at it. They have the Defensive Player of the Year and the best defense in football. They have the best running back in football. Nobody even noticed, but Deebo Samuel came back a couple days ago from his injury. And, what do we do here? Dusty, show me the graphic.
What is this?
They have, by some measures, the greatest quarterback in Niners
there
history.
he is.
Oh, that's Bruce graphic. And look, Jimmy G falling down.
G's on there.
He is on there. Behind 3 Hall of Famers, Steve Young, Joe Montana, and Brock Purdy. And so this is the best team in the league. This is the
best team in the league.
This is the best team in the league. Yes.
Wow.
Now some of the committee members favor the Chiefs, so I'm not sure how the tiers are going to shake out tomorrow. But this is by any fair metric the best team in football, the hottest team in football, and the scariest team in football. What is their weakness? They also, by the way, right now are getting the best quarterback play they have gotten since Shanahan's been there. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback they've had. It's the best quarterback play they have gotten since Shanahan has been there. So, they're a juggernaut.
They're a great team. I think juggernaut's a little much. And I understand why Pete's doing this. Number one, it may be a little psychological game. You know, get San Francisco thinking, we can look past them. They know we're going to roll over them. You know, and also lower his own expectations, okay? If everybody expects them to get beat, but lower the expectations. But a few weeks ago, they beat Seattle 21-13. I know they were up 21-3, but they still won by a touchdown. All right, a few weeks ago, they were battling with Jarrett Stidham to the end, right? They won by 3. And for all their offensive weapons, and the defense obviously is great. And I like Brock Purdy, but he hasn't played yet in a playoff game. He's passed every test to this point. I'm just saying I can't go juggernaut when I'm seeing guys who are much more, have better resumes. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts struggle in their first playoff game. So they're great. I got them and the Eagles in the NFC as the 2 best teams. But I just think juggernaut's a little too far.
Nope, they're a juggernaut.
Really?
Wow.
They are a juggernaut.
Just
They're a
giving it
great
up.
team.
Look, the film doesn't lie. And when you look at defensively, if you can just put these numbers up, take a look at this. We know who their defense
They're
is,
great
but
at
look at
everything.
this. First or second in everything. Any statistical category that you want, they're in it first. And the reason why I don't care about Brock Purdy, inexperience, no playoff experience, is because of that defense. And because of the weapons he talked about. And he didn't even mention George Kittle.
No, who, by the way, has been unlocked
since Brock Purdy.
George Kittle had 12